You're watching WAFF 48 News at 4 on your side.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is WAFF 48 News at 4. I'm Liz Hurley.
And I'm Margot Gray. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Let's begin with weather, of course. Brad, what can we expect in the forecast for Father's Day weekend? But let's start off with tonight, right now. What's happening?
Well, we've got thunderstorms in progress now. We did expect this. So about a 2 to 3 hour round of thunderstorms. We'll see the same thing both days as we go through the weekend. But Sunday's actually looking a little bit drier. Let's take a look at the radar. Very heavy rain here. A lot of red on the radar, a lot of lightning, some gusty winds. One thing we're going to watch here in the next hour or so is to see if this area can fill back in, because you're already rain cooled in the shoals. I would expect a weakening trend here with these showers and storms moving into Russellville, and I do expect things to get a little bit quieter by at least 7 o'clock, maybe earlier than that in some areas. But your patio forecast, some isolated showers and thunderstorms between 6 and 7 o'clock, and by 8 I think we start to dry out. Here's a quick look at what the latest model guidance has. Notice the area of northwest Alabama has that area weakening as it lifts to the north. Your complete forecast is coming up in just a few minutes.
All right. Now let's turn to breaking news in Franklin County. A manslaughter trial ending with a guilty verdict. Former daycare worker Peyton Gann has been found guilty in the death of infant Autumn Wells. WAFF 48's Aria Pons is live in Franklin County for us. And Aria, you spoke to the Wells family immediately after that verdict came down. How are they?
Margot, the Wells family has clearly been heartbroken for the last 3 years and through this entire experience of the trial for the last 5 days. Now, they say, like they said, they're heartbroken. They say that they are truly sad at the fact that it's been 3 years, but they saw a verdict today and they have a few other people that are charged in this trial. They dropped Autumn Wells off at a daycare in March 2022 and they never saw her alive again. Wells' cause of death is still undetermined, but the medical examiner who testified during the trial this week said there was extrinsic evidence in the way she was laid on a pillow and wrapped in a blanket that may have caused her to asphyxiate. The district attorney says 2 women were supposed to be watching her, Peyton Gann and Madison McAlpin. They weren't even in the building as she lay dying. McAlpin left her post to take a call, and Gann's phone was pinged outside a nearby store. Assistant District Attorney Fallon Farr says the office wants this case to remind daycare owners and workers of the repercussions of not taking their job seriously.
I hope this verdict makes daycare owners and daycare workers take their job a lot more seriously. I hope that they can see what can happen if they are not doing their job and doing their due diligence, and I hope that they realize the seriousness of their job.
It only took the jury about an hour and 20 minutes to hand down this verdict. Gann will be sentenced on September 17th. I spoke with Autumn Wells' grandfather, Joel Wells. He says he wants to thank the entire community for their support and aid in this case. Reporting live in Franklin County, Aria Pons, 48 on your side.
Thank you, Aria. Important to note here that Peyton Gann is just one of 5 people charged connected to Autumn Wells' death.
So here's a quick look at where things stand with other former Tiny Tigers daycare staffers who were accused of being involved. So Madison McAlpin was granted youthful offender status and her case was sealed from public record. She became a state's witness and testified in this case earlier this week. Peyton Gann's mother, Tia Gann, pleaded guilty to witness tampering and was given probation. Hannah Letzen, another co-worker, did the same and received probation.
Daycare owner Angeline Chambly was facing forgery charges and charges of running a daycare without a license. But prosecutors say they have new evidence they want to present to a grand jury for potentially more serious charges.
Let's turn to Lauderdale County, where an overnight shooting happened, leaving a man dead. The sheriff now says this all happened after the victim met with a child in the middle of the night. It happened here on County Road 23 around 2 o'clock in the morning. So the sheriff is releasing very few details about this at this point. He says that one of the juvenile's family members saw them in a car with an adult man. So that family member fired a single shot which killed the man in that car. No one's name is being released at this time. No charges have been filed either. The sheriff says the investigation is still ongoing. We're digging deeper into this story and hope to have more details for you coming up tonight at 6.
Meantime, a Florence man is in jail this afternoon accused of groping a woman at a gas station. Brian King is charged with sexual abuse. Records obtained by WAFF show this happened Wednesday night at the MAPCO off Cox Creek Parkway. The records state that King went into the store's drink cooler with that female victim. King then tried to kiss her and held her against her will as he groped her. He was booked into the Lauderdale County Detention Center and has since bonded out. Thousands of No Kings protests are being held throughout the United States Saturday in opposition to the Trump administration's recent actions. This is also the same day as President Trump turned 79 and the U.S. Army celebrates 250 years. And 5 of these No Kings protests are taking place right here in North Alabama. WAFF 48's Noah Cowell joins us live in Huntsville, where one of those protests is going to be held. Noah, what should we expect tomorrow?
Liz, organizers tell me protests are planned tomorrow right here next to Campus 805, as well as in Florence, Athens, Scottsboro, and Guntersville. They say all these protests will be peaceful, but they say they've already experienced some sort of resistance, and they expect that to continue tomorrow. Huntsville's organizer, Jeffrey Engel, says he expects at least 2,000 people to be here in this Huntsville location tomorrow, protesting peacefully to pull attention away from what he calls the circus happening in D.C. This will include demanding the impeachment of President Trump and Secretaries of Homeland Security and Defense. Engel expects resistance from counter-protesters, but says no matter what, they won't resort to violence. In Scottsboro, a counter-protest will be held alongside the No Kings protest at Jackson County Courthouse. And the organizer there says she's already received threats. Scottsboro PD tells me extra officers will be there, prepared for anything.
If people do start damaging businesses, damaging property, committing criminal acts, and we ultimately will start having to take people to jail. We hope it doesn't come to that. We hope that everybody, whether it's the protesters or the protesters of the protesters, once they're out there, that we can all remain calm and there won't be any issues that arise from it.
Huntsville and Guntersville police say they are aware of these protests happening in their area tomorrow, and they do respect the right of everyone to peacefully assemble, and they do believe that there won't be any issues. Reporting live in Huntsville, Noah Cowell, 48 News, on your side.
All right, thank you, Noah. Well, if you live in the Hazel Green School District, there will be a new middle school coming to that area on the high school's campus in just a couple of years. So Madison County school leaders approved a new $53 million Hazel Green Middle School last night. We brought that to you as news last night at 10. Here's a look at the proposed site for that school, by the way. This is just north of Hazel Green High School on Highway 231-431 and basically behind the Foodland grocery store there. WAFF 48's Faith Delp is in Hazel Green for us. And Faith, tell us about this new development.
Margot, in just 2 years, this whole field behind me will be the new Hazel Green Middle School. And just like you said, this is just north of the high school's campus. Today, I spoke to David Vess, who is a board member for District 1, and he says the incredible amount of growth in Hazel Green and Meridianville means this school is desperately needed. Vess says they are so excited to break ground on this project, but there is a lot to be done. He says they will start hiring later in the construction process. But for now, the $53 million will build the school and a new baseball and softball field. Vess says this school won't come in time for current middle school students, but parents with kids in Hazel Green Elementary School right now can look forward to this in just 2 years.
So we're excited because the Hazel Green area is the most growing area in Madison County right now. So right here is where we're going to put the middle school. It's slated to be a 7-8. Just hang in there. That's all I can really say. Hang in there. We're trying.
Vess didn't have an exact date to when this project will break ground, but he says it will be very soon and it should be ready by the 2027 school year. Reporting live in Hazel Green, Faith Delp, 48 News, on your side.
Big things happening in Hazel Green. Big things happening a little farther south in the Rocket City. The Rocket City will soon be the site of a national soccer tournament. City leaders and officials made that official today. The American Youth Soccer Organization National Games headed our way in the summer of 2027. Those games will feature teams from more than 30 states. They'll play at the Merrimack Soccer Complex. Leaders with AYSO say there was a bidding process to determine the host of the games, with Huntsville being the choice in the end. Huntsville Mayor Tommy Battle says he is very excited to add these games to Huntsville's soccer resume.
Over the years, Huntsville has established itself as one of the leading soccer destinations in the Southeast. Whether it's the strength of local clubs hosting the Alabama High School State Championships or a professional soccer team, Huntsville City FC, our city is known as a known commodity in the soccer world.
Officials believe the games will have a positive impact on the local economy. They say it could bring in $9 million and at least 8,000 hotel rooms will be booked out.
So Limestone County seniors took part in some friendly competition earlier today. Seniors in Athens took part in some regional play. Today's winners will advance to the Alabama Masters Games later this year. Some of the competitions included basketball, cornhole, and rook. The event is hosted by TARCOG. Leaders say many seniors really look forward to it every year in hopes of taking their athleticism statewide.
It's engagement, it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of love, it's a lot of commitment. It's just bringing them together for collaboration. And we all, TARCOG support all these 5 counties, and every year we just come together as one to celebrate all the good things that they do within their communities.
So the Alabama Masters Game is happening in Trussville this October.
Still to come at 4, tensions continue to rise in the Middle East after Israel forces bombed an Iranian nuclear site. New developments when we come back.
And celebrating our elders and protecting them as well from potential abuse. Advice from an advocate next at 4. After Israel's bombing of key nuclear sites in Iran last night, Iran has retaliated with a missile strike targeting Tel Aviv. The city was rocked with explosions around 1 p.m. Central Time. Israeli air defenses fired its own missiles into the sky. You know it as the Iron Dome, shooting down many of those incoming weapons. The Pentagon says it moved several military assets into the area and is assisting with this defense into the night hours. But it appears as though a few did get through. Israeli media showing several fires now burning around the city. On the Iranian side, from the UN ambassador, we have heard new numbers: 78 people killed, and 320 injured. This is on the Iranian side, so all of this continues to unfold, and we'll continue to watch it. Now, we've seen a rise in elder abuse across the country now covering your community. Senior and advocates in Madison County came together to show support to those who need it most. So the Madison County DHR recognized World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. Leaders say they choose to turn a sad day into a celebration. There, they celebrated local elders and educated them on the signs of elder abuse and how to report it. Madison County DHR Director Corey Williams says it's important to bring awareness to an age group often overlooked.
Because when a lot of people look at abuse, they always look at vulnerable populations such as children. But our elders also suffer from abuse or neglect. And our elders, they do a lot. You know, one day we have to, to age, and they should be provided the same services as well.
So Williams says when it comes to elder abuse, if you see something, say something. World Elder Abuse Awareness Day is June 15th.
We are less than a week away from one of the biggest country music festivals in the Valley. Rock the South runs next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at York Farms in Coleman. Thousands of fans from across the country will be there. This morning, the Coleman City Police Department and Coleman County Sheriff issued a warning. They will be out in force, making sure everyone is safe.
We're not going to put up with nonsense. When you're outside that venue, if you're going to be a knucklehead, then we're going to deal with you. We will have a mobile jail on site, so if you're going to be doing knucklehead things, aggravating the neighbors in the area, if you think it's okay to go and urinate around their house or just cause problems, then we're going to put you in that mobile jail, and that's where you'll be, so you won't get to attend the concert.
In other words, go find a porta potty. This year's headliners are Hank Williams Jr., Kid Rock, and Nickelback. Single-day passes and weekend passes are still available online. And finally, we want to remind you that our newscast will be impacted by NBC Sports golf coverage all weekend long. Saturday and Sunday, we'll have live online newscasts at 6 o'clock. Then we'll be live on air at 10 as usual. We'll send you an alert through the 48 News app to remind you to log in and watch.
And also, you can catch the opening ceremony for the Alabama State Games right here on WAFF. The opening ceremony starts at 7 p.m. Athletes from across the state will compete in over 20 sports throughout Birmingham and Jefferson County.
Now, your first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis.
Well, it's been a stormy afternoon. We're still dealing with some showers and thunderstorms. They're noisy, they're not severe, and we're going to experience this throughout the weekend. So again, periods of showers and storms. Let's get a closer view of Muscle Shoals. It's cooled off a little bit, awfully green out there too. That grass keeps growing. Over in Guntersville, dry for now, but still a chance of some showers and thunderstorms as we go later into the evening hours. But what we're going to watch here is it's fairly rain cooled now over the shoals. So I do expect this round of thunderstorms to weaken dramatically as it moves in, but it can still set up another 45 minutes of just some scattered light rain to moderate rain. And as we get into the other areas here near High Top, you got this dark sky just on the horizon, slow moving. So rain and lightning is the biggest impact here as you get from New Hope, Owens Crossroads, the Hampton Cove area off to the northeast through Grant and continuing off to the Gurley area, and that's up towards Timms Ford Lake. Still some lightning on the backside. Additional thunderstorms developing in northern Mississippi, but these are likely going to weaken as they move north into the rain-cooled air. So what we're looking at this weekend, scattered showers and storms. Now tomorrow they may develop earlier. And that's actually good news for your late afternoon and early evening, because once we get these clusters of thunderstorms through the area, they eventually weaken and die out, and the air is rain cooled. It's still going to be very muggy for your outdoor plans, but it may not be as wet. I think we're looking more isolated in nature with the Sunday showers and storms. Right now we're pretty much covered up. And again, that other area coming in from the south, I think a lot of this is going to clear out by 7 o'clock. Here's a look at 6 o'clock this evening. Still some showers and storms up towards Timms Ford Lake. Probably going to see a little bit more activity than what you see here because of what's going on in Jackson County and eventually DeKalb County. But notice the area coming north into the shoals. That will weaken with time. And by about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I think we're pretty clear. There may be a few renegade areas out there like we had last night with just some heavy rainfall. As we focus on tomorrow, I think tomorrow morning starts off dry, but we're going to have to watch a wave coming into the northwest corner of the state early in the morning. I think this will probably ignite showers and storms at some point between, say, 10 o'clock in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. So again, the earlier arrival will be better. As these showers and storms move through the area, we get kind of rain cooled behind it, therefore not as much activity. But as you see, 8 o'clock in the evening, still a chance for some showers and thunderstorms. Rain chances will be with us all the way through the weekend and into next week. But just like today, don't cancel any plans. Just kind of know you're going to have a 2 or 3 hour window where you may have a lot of rain on the way. Father's Day, isolated showers and thunderstorms. 90s on the way next week. So very much feeling like summertime by the end of next week, if it doesn't already.
All right, you know the sound. It's Friday, and that means a visit from the kitchen cop.
Incredibly, we only have one low score to tell you about this week, so let's get right to it.
Shababy's Rib Shack on Highway 53 in Harvest checks in with a miserably low 72. Inspectors saw an employee making sandwiches without washing their hands or even putting on gloves.
There was also a wire coming off a fryer basket that could have ended up in someone's food, and no paper towels at the hand washing sink. And since we've got a little extra time today, let's talk about some great scores around the valley this week. The Rio Grande restaurant in Decatur has an impressive 98.
And a couple of local food trucks with 99s. That's Bo's Best Wings and Loca Mama, both based in Huntsville. And here are some spots with that perfect 100 this week. Five Guys Burgers and Fries in Cliff Farm, along with the Wingstop on Hughes Road, gave Madison something to be proud of.
And one last 100 going to the Lone Goose Saloon inside Campus 805 in Huntsville. You can see more scores right now on the 48 News app.
We love the 100s across the board. That's where you want to eat this weekend. All right, thank you so much for joining us tonight here online.
That's right. We will return for 48 News at 6, followed by 48 News at 10. And if we don't see you this weekend, all you dads out there, happy Father's Day.